This phone charger is gonna make it kind of odd for. Maybe not. Hey, there we go. Hey. It's about 10:10. Not too late. That's good. Let me get to my notes. Notes. Chapter 4 notes. Here we are. Alright. Chapter 3, yeah. It's on the other side of the page here. That's alright. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Wait, yeah. And Adam knew, goodness, my mind. Where is my mind at? And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Cain and Abel were here. When it says that Adam knew, that means that he procreated with, he reproduced children with Eve. And Cain was born first, and then Abel was born. Abel took care of the sheep, Cain tilled the ground, and Cain tilling the ground, that means he's, getting it ready for plants. Chapters 3 and 4 end in process of time. It came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offerings. Hey, so I appreciate it. So, that's the first offerings. The fruit that Cain got would be given to the Lord, and also the firstborns of Abel's flock. And the Lord respected Abel's offering. What an honor. That would be honorable to know that the Lord respected, our offerings. And he does. If we give, with the right heart. Hey, I appreciate it. But then, verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Cain's offering was not respected, and he was angry because of this. When it says, and his countenance fell, honestly, I had to look that word up because it's a word I didn't know. And according to the internet, Google, countenance is somebody's facial expression. So when it says Cain's countenance fell, and wrath means to be like full of wrath, angry, when he became angry, not only was he angry, but you could tell that he was angry. He was visibly mad that his offering was not respected. Verses 6 through 8. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And unto goodness, and why is thou countenance fallen? If thou doest well, thou shalt not be accepted, and if thou doest well, not well, tired, sin lieth at the door, and goodness, what is up with me? What is up with me tonight? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. God asked Cain why he was angry, and why he looked angry, saying, If thou doest well, shalt not thou be accepted? Basically asking, if he does something good, is that not enough? Do people not know that you did good? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the doorway. I had to take a second and try to understand what this meant, but I came to the conclusion that it would be, if Cain doesn't feel good because he thinks he didn't do good because what he did wasn't respected, he needs to be careful and not give in to his anger, or else that anger can make him do something wrong. But Cain is angry, and his anger is making him want to do something that he can't control. So Cain kills Abel. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? God asked Cain where Abel is, and when Cain says, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? Does that not sound kind of sarcastic? I mean, the Bible doesn't say that it's sarcastic, but it kind of sounds like it. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I supposed to keep track of him? Yeah, that's... I don't imagine that being nice words. Verse 10, and he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. God sees Abel has died. Sad. And but now it gets to Cain's punishment. Verses 11 through 12. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Cain is cursed from the earth. And when he tills the ground, tries to plant soil and stuff, it's not going to provide for him. And now he's a fugitive because he went against the law, He killed his own brother. And a vagabond. It's like somebody who's homeless, somebody that wanders around. And Oh, geez. Cain's response. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from my face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. It's crazy that, hey, it's kind of crazy that Cain thought that was bad when God could have just taken him out. If God wanted to just take Cain out for taking his brother out, that would have been justified and that would have been right. But he didn't. God was gracious and let Cain live. But it came with a price. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. God puts a mark, a layer of protection on Cain. That whoever kills Cain would be killed, and it would be sevenfold, meaning it would probably be worse. A lot worse. In verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. Cain left God's presence. Verse. Sorry, guys. Verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. Cain and his wife, whoever that was, hasn't been named, but they reproduce. Enoch is born, and Cain has a city built and named it after him. Verse 18. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehujael, and Mehujael begat Methusael. These names, man. And Methusael begat Lamech. Enoch had a son named Irad. He had a son named Mehujael. He had a son named Methusael. He had a son named Lamech. So this is basically like family tree stuff. Verse 19. Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ida, and the name of the other Zillah. Lamech had 2 wives, Ida and Zillah. Verse 20. Ida gave birth. Alright, let me read this verse first. And Ida bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. Ada gave birth to Jabal. He would live in tents and have cattle. Yeah. 21, verse 21. Goodness. Verse 21. And his brother's name was Jebel. He was the father of all, as such handled the harp and organ. Ada has a brother named Jubal. He was a musician. And this is kind of a cool verse, especially for me, he was a guitarist, mentioning the first stringed instruments brought into the world. It's kind of awesome. Not kind of, it is awesome. Yeah. Verse 22. She also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah, I think. These names are definitely tricky to pronounce. Bruh, that's crazy. Nah, bruh, I ain't reading the cheeseburger. I'm reading the word, man. King James. Oh, jeez. 10:30. No, we're all good. Nobody's offended here. Let's see. So yeah, verse 22 basically introduces Tubal Cain, who is an artificer. Nice. But I had to look this word up again. I mean, I could have understood it with context, but I'm kind of slow sometimes. An artificer is a craftsman and an inventor, and he was a craftsman using brass and iron. I don't know if I guess Tubal Cain is a male name. I'm not too sure. I don't know why that would matters. I don't know. That's just a cool name, Tubal Cain. They have some really cool and interesting names here. Verse 23 through 24. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding. To my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Lamech tells his wives he killed somebody, and that, unfortunately for him, someone has to be Cain. So now Cain is going to be avenged sevenfold. Increased punishment for Lamech. Verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, she said, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. This is Adam and Eve's third child. But Cain was killed, and Abel murdered by Cain. So both of Adam and Eve's sons are dead. So I can see that being the reason that God wanted them to have Seth. Verse 26. And this is the last verse of chapter 4. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Seth has a son named Enos, and I'm guessing that Bonaparte is saying that Enos means men call upon the name of the Lord. I'm not too sure. Could be, but it's also possible that it's not. Could be. Just an interpretation. It's definitely possible. I guess since I've been doing this with the other chapters, I'll go over the notes. Cain and Abel are here. Adam knew, procreated with, reproduced with. Even Cain is born. They had another child named Abel. Abel took care of the sheep. Cain tilled the ground. He was one that got it ready for the plants. The first offerings, the fruit that Cain got, would be given to the Lord. And the firstborns of Abel's flock. The Lord respected Abel's offering. Verse 5, Cain's offering, however, was not respected, and he was angry because of this. And his countenance fell, countenance being his facial expression. Meaning, Cain was angry, and you could tell it. Why Cain kills Abel. Verses 6 through 8. God asked Cain why he was angry, and why he looked angry. And he says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? Basically asking, if someone does something good, is it not good enough? Do people not know you did good? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the doorway. Basically saying, if Cain doesn't feel good because he thinks he didn't do good, because what he did wasn't respected, he needs to be careful and not give in to his anger, or else that anger will make him do something wrong. But Cain is angry, and his anger makes him want to do something he can't control. So Cain kills Abel. Ruh-roh. Verse 9, God asks Cain where Abel is. He says he doesn't know. Am I my brother's keeper? Sarcastic remark there. Verse 10, God sees Abel has died. Cain's punishment, verses 11 through 12. Cain is cursed from the earth. When he tills the ground, it will not provide for him. He is now a fugitive and a vagabond. He is homeless and a wanderer. Verses 13 through 14. Cain tells God that he cannot bear the punishment because to him it's too harsh. Saying that he's being driven out, gonna have to hide himself, and people are gonna want to kill him. In a nutshell, God, that's too harsh, I can't take it. Well, Cain could have already been dead. So, there's also that. Verse 15, in response, God marks Cain so that if anybody kills him, his killer will also be taken out. Verse 16 basically says Cain left God and went to the land of Nod. So family tree stuff. Verse 17, Cain and his wife reproduced, and Enoch was born. Cain builds a city and named it after his son. Verse 18, Enoch had a son named Irad, who had a son named Mahuael, who had a son named Methusael, who had a son named Lamech. Verse 19, Lamech had 2 wives, Ida and Zillah. Verse 20, Ida gave birth to Jabal, who will live in tents and have cattle. Verse 21, Ida had a brother named Jubal, who was a musician. Hey, got string instruments over here. Nice. Verse 22, Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain, an artificer, craftsman, inventor in brass and iron. Basically, Tubal Cain made stuff out of brass and iron. Verses 23 through 24, Lamech tells his wives they killed somebody. Unfortunately, that somebody had to be Cain, so now Cain will be avenged sevenfold, which means Lamech will have increased punishment. Verse 25, Adam and Eve have another son, Seth. Probably because Cain and Abel are dead. In verse 26, Seth has a son named Enos, and I think Enos means, based on context of the verse, then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. And that's chapter 4. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry to you guys who are showing up late. Have a good night. Sleep well. And peace. Hey, what's up, dude? That's awesome. People from Brazil watching is nuts. That's awesome. Good night, man. Peace.